Hi, this instructional video is about compound interest. Compound interest. Now there is already an instructional video labeled under 304 simple interest. And we're going to base it off on that one. For this example, what is the interest earned on a principal of $2,000 at 6% that's deposited for 18 months? From the previous instructional video, I equals P times R times T. We made fun of that. Excuse me, I pert. I need to pert. Step aside. I'm about to pert. Anyway, the $2,000 is the money you're going to put in the bank. That's the principal. So $2,000 is the principal. The 6% is the interest rate. And 6%, we all know that we have to convert that to a decimal. When you see a percent sign, you move away from it 2 spaces. See, there's that 2 little balls right there? Reminding you to move away 2 spaces. So when you do, you go 1, 2. And wherever there's a blank space, you put a 0. So the decimal form of 6% is 0.06, and that's the interest rate. 18 month, no, we cannot just put 18 here. That will symbolize 18 years. We have to indicate that as a fraction form, 18 month out of total of 12 months in a year. We should simplify this because it's a common factor. Greatest common factor is 6. So 6 divided by 3 is 18, and 6 divided by 2 is 12. So the time is 3 over 12 of our year, or 1 1/2 if you wanted to do that. So we're going to put in the numerical value for the variables here. So I is equal to the principal, 2,000, times the rate, which is 0.06, times the time, which is 3 over 2. The denominator 2 times 1 is 2, and that 2 goes into 2,000 1,000 times. Here's a calculator where I'm going to go 1,000 times the rate 0.06 times 3, the numerator left over. That gives me 180. So the interest rate earned is $180. Nice. And if they were to ask you, well, what is the bank balance at the end of that 18 month, you just take that principal, which is $2,000, and add it to the interest you earn, 180. So your total bank balance will be $2,180 in the bank at the end of that 18 month. We remember that from our instructional video 304, simple interest. However, what if, instead of waiting for 18 months, how much will you earn if you only put it in for 1 month? Then it changes. We're going to use the same I equals PRT. The principal is still $2,000. The rate is still 0.06 or 6%. But the time that we're going to put in the bank is no longer 18 over 12. We're going to put it in for 1 month out of that 12. So it becomes 112. So we're going to use the same formula, I PERT. So $2,000 goes in there, times the rate is 0.06, times the time is going to be 1 over 12. This time I'm not going to cross cancel because I don't think the 12 denominator goes evenly into $2,000. So I'm going to just go ahead and take all the whole numbers and numerators and multiply across. And according to this calculator, $2,000 times the interest rate of 0.06 is 120, and 120 times the numerator 1 is just 120, and divide that by 12. Oh, it's a factor of 10. So 12 goes into 120 10 times. So the interest earned in 1 month is $10. So at the end of that 1 month, it will be the principal, $2,000, plus the interest earned. So that's going to be $2,010 balance. Nice. However, again, what if You put that same amount that you earned and put it back in the bank for another 1 month. So in fact, you're not putting in $2,000 anymore. You're putting in $2,010 in a bank. So what's going to happen? Let's do it on this side. Same formula, but instead this time the principal is not 2,000, it's 2,010. But the rate is the same, 0.06, times the time that you're going to put in again is the same, 1 month. So the procedure is the same, but it's not going to be 120. So here we go. So it's 2010, the new balance, times the same rate, 0.06, times the 1, identity, gives me 120 and 60 cents. Divide that by 12. And the calculator says that interest earned for the second month will not be $10. It'll be $10.05. You actually earn 5 cents more on the second month. So the new balance at the end of that second month is the new principal that you put in, which was 2010, plus the new amount of interest, which is $10.05. So your new balance at the end of that second month is 2020, and you actually got 5 extra cents along with the 10. Now you could see if I keep this on, which let's just do one more just for fun. If you need to go ahead and fast forward it. But let's take that same amount and do it for the third. I equals PRT. Then $10.05. Now it's $10.10. Is it going to keep up the same growth ratio? I'm not sure. Only way to find out in this case is keep on going. But I'm not going to do that. No. But I'm going to find out what the balance is at the end of that third month, which is previous balance that I put in was 2020 plus the $10.10. That gives me 2030.15. Yay. After 3 months, it's growing. Now, if somebody asked you, well, at that rate, how much will we get if the interest was computed each month for that 18 month? And that's what this question is right here. What is the total balance amount if that same principal, $2,000 in the beginning, is compounded every month? In essence, that's what we did each month, carrying on that new balance for that same 18 month. What that means, if we compound this every month, once every month, that means we will have to do this 18 times to find out how much we will have at the end of the 18 months. And I don't want to do that. No. Instead, I'm going to use a formula. The A representing the amount balance at the end of that loan period or deposit period. The P stays the same as the principal that you put in the beginning, the initial principal. The 1 represents the previous amount that you will add to the new interest that you earn. If you were to do a disputed property, whatever the money you had before times the 1, that becomes the whole amount that you're going to add to the new principal that you earn for that period. That's what that 1 is. Plus, again, the R is the same rate, interest rate. In this case, it's going to be 0.06 in decimal form. Now the time is not 18 months anymore like before. This is not a simple interest. The time refers to the, not 18 over 12, but since we're doing it every month, it's going to be 1 out of 12. In 1 year, each month, we're going to calculate the interest or compound it. Whatever interest you get, we're going to add to it. So it's going to be 1 over 12 instead. And then the N is the tricky part. If I were to compound this or calculate the interest each month, how many times will I have compounded in 18 months? Now this one's simple. Since it's each month, 1 times 18, the end will be 18-month total, or 18 compounds, or calculations. So let's plug in some numbers. So A is equal to the principal, $2,000. Now there's going to be a bracket within a bracket. So a parentheses within a parentheses. So I'm going to use a bracket to distinguish it. Times the quantity of one original principal plus the R is 0.06 as before. And the time is 1 out of 12. Now since we're going to be using a calculator, let me go ahead and convert that 1 out of 12. Oops. Now let me convert that 1 out of 12 using my calculator. 1 divided by 12 is going to be some repeating number. That's not good. Let's not use the converted version. Let's go ahead and use 1 out of 12. Times the whole quantity raised to an 18th power. Yep, you need a calculator to do this one. We're dealing with money. So $2,000 times whatever you get inside. So let's do this. 0.06 times 1 numerator is still 0.06. So let's divide that by the denominator 12. And we get 0.005. And 1 plus that 0.005 is obviously 1.005. Nice. Now we're going to raise that to 18 power. I'd rather use a calculator than try to sit there and go 1.005 times 1.005 times 1. No. Calculator, please. Now, here's the thing about this calculator. Let's add 1 to that whole amount to keep it consistent. We're going to raise that 1.005. This one, we're going to use this key, y raised to an x power. Y is the known value, which is 1.005. X is what we don't know, which we will put in. So here we go. Times, raised to 18 power. That gives me 1.0 whatever. Take that amount. Actually, let's write it down so I can show the work. So that is 1.09392894. Thank goodness for calculators. And now we're going to multiply that to the original principal times $2,000 equals $2,187.85. So we're going to say 86 cents. There's your amount at the end of 18 months at 6% interest, compounded every month. I hope this helps. Look for the part 2 to see the variation on the compound interest, okay? Good luck.